Okay, it's nearly 2 in the morning, and I'm gonna do my best to condense my log, my written log, that will complement my video log of my mother's kidnapping, forced incarceration and deliberate deterioration to premature death. 19th of August. But there's a couple of other documents that I found. The document from Sunday, the email on Sunday, August 13th, which is a follow-up from Friday's email, Sylvia and Amanda, confidentiality. And that's the one, following my email to you on Friday, I went to the Holy Spirit to ask them to lift the control order, to let me take Mum out for a walk and church on Sunday. Julie Knox said, no, no, and no. It wasn't her decision anyway. Julie Knox told me the control order came from the public guardian. I told her that the control order came from Catholic Healthcare, along with my sister Trish and her husband Joseph Pugliese. They paused for a minute, and Romilla looked at Julie for the next move. I said, and Catholic Healthcare runs the Holy Spirit. She said, Julie Knox, yes, that's right, but the public guardian are on board with it. My sister Trish wrote the same thing in her first email to me after the hearing. Are they both lying, or am I just a naive idiot who doesn't understand how things really work? She said that the public guardian rang and filled her in with what I'd written, and they agreed. And the public guardian agreed with her. So the public guardian agreed with Holy Spirit and Catholic Healthcare. And that's what she's telling me. The public guardian thought the control order was right, and Mum deserves this because I took her out of the nursing home. I said my mother was suffering, and that's why I took her out. Romilla and Julie said that wasn't true. But I have the video to show how Mum and I were treated on admission. I have the video of Mum being manhandled. But when I put it on YouTube, Catholic Healthcare threatened me with cops and lawyers, and the tribunal didn't want to see it. So what hope do I have if my evidence is not accepted and my journal is a joke? I told Julie Knox I was keeping a journal, and she smirked, as if to say, who cares? And it sort of looks like, I don't know, she's right. So, there's that email. I've already submitted it, so I won't, repeat myself. I try not to repeat myself, but, they're deliberately traumatizing me to make me forget things. And so I overproduce. I over-document. Because I do forget because of the trauma. And it's one of, it's one of the outcomes of being traumatized. So, it's particularly cruel to traumatize a woman with Alzheimer's who already has a memory problem. It actually has exacerbated it, made it worse. So, August 21st. So we lost our real father, John Bridges Kennedy, to the Joseph Ward, which may be 3 minutes across the yard, but my brother didn't mention at the guardianship hearing the rabbit-proof fence that would be waiting for us after Mum was returned, and the fact she needs someone to escort her to Dad, and that someone just happens to be me. Once a week, every day of the week, or twice if Mum craved to see him. Well, not anymore. And to replace our real father is this lecherous old priest named Father John we're incarcerated with. He's always trying to get out. Who isn't? He bangs the glass door down 3 times per day trying to get to the outside area that's designed to be tripped over. It's not a functional walking area. It's like a half-built set on a play. So now we have a new father who just happens to love one-act plays in between taking mass, something for everyone, Mum and me, eh? And why do we call him Father John? Because according to the diary left on Mum's toilet before I got there in the morning, because I'm banned before 10 a.m. as part of the control order, that is not his name. His name is Father Lin, but they have us calling him Father John. He's a priest with 2 names. Mum called him Dad the other night, and I stopped her there. He will never be Dad, and he'd better stay out of her room. He barges in all the time with a creepy smile on his face. He can take his Looney Tune act somewhere else. I know a pervert when I see one. But there's literally no escape, day in, day out. Under the control order, we have to stay in the compound and eat in the dining room and listen to everyone moan and whine and scream for every mouthful, under the eye of the staff, who have all been informed of our punishment and reminded if they forget to keep up the whipping. It's highly sadistic from the top down. Because of the control order, my mother's not allowed to eat with me in the dining room up the end of the corridor, so there's no reprieve from the crazy people and noise. If the day's cold and we can't sit in the pretend yard. It's like Mum fell down a rabbit hole into a really twisted hall of distorted mirrors that she now cannot even get a day pass from. This is extreme psychological torture that is manifesting physically in these very measurable ways, which I will list now before saying that I cannot call a doctor because the nursing home insists on Dr. H, and I don't trust Dr. H because my brother chose that doctor, and my brother's been financially abusing Mum and Dad since he wrenched that POA out of Dad's hands. Call me old-fashioned, but I don't think the man who's withholding Mum's money from her should be choosing a doctor. He knows nothing about Mum's needs at all. He's never been interested. So, Monday 21st, 10:30, they take Mum to the optometrist. 4:30, Dad turns up with Paul bringing frozen prawns, which is interesting because when he was grooming Dad, you know, those years back, Concord West, grooming him to get him in the nursing home, he used to buy him fresh prawns from the fish market. Now it's frozen prawns. Now they're hostages. Then he tells staff not to worry about dinner. Prawns are enough. 6 p.m. I tell staff Mum will eat dinner. Prawns are not enough. Tuesday 22nd, find letter of Father John in Mum's room. He's been in there again in the morning. See Father John, another one coming in and out of Mum's room. I also had this other diary here, this one. You know, because I could put more information in it, more detail than the bigger diary. We're trying to get a third of a page. But this one's Monday 28th of August. Arrive 8:20. Mum is sitting at table across from aggressive Lynn and Mama, Mama, Titio. So she's opposite aggression and misery. Mum has a full bowl of cornflakes she has not touched. She doesn't eat cornflakes, but no one seems to remember. Mum is crying, and she cries with no tears, and that's why she likes it when I cry, because I can cry for her, because I can cry the tears for her. Now she doesn't have anybody to do that. It's terrible what they've done. Mum is crying. I hug her and take her up the end of the dining room where she can look out the window. Lynn then starts a fight and throws a cup of tea over someone. We then get up and move to the top lounge area so Mum can have quiet and feel safe. Instantly, Mum relaxes when she gets up there. She cannot handle the dining room. The acoustics are unbearable to my mother's ears. She remembers she's an orphan and she's not at home. The noises and moans and aggressive bursts and general demeanour of dying is overwhelming. My mum has no protection from the other residents. Morning is the scariest time of all. And the fact that I cannot give my mother what she needs to survive without threats of further punishment is a torture. This institution is carrying out no-touch torture on my mother. They removed her attachments, no freedom of movement, can't even decide where she wants to eat, no right of reply, and constant threat of removing her only remaining advocate while financially abusing her, using her own estate against her by taking her name off everything, including the title. So bad. Okay, so, things just get worse and worse in the nursing home. Mum gets the flu, I nurse her through the flu, I miss my guardianship appeal hearing. I think she's going to die during that flu. Ivy dies next door during that flu, her neighbour Ivy. Titio dies somewhere around that time too. Father John, well, he dies after during my ban order. He dies. I come back and he's dead. But he was in hospital when I was still there. So there's this death happening all around us, going through to September, and then, of course, on the 26th of September, I send Sylvia Heidenreich the video of the demented masturbator. I tell her about, I'm cut down to 4 hours, I tell her about Mum's dangerous deterioration, I tell her about Mum's sprained hand, I tell her that I asked the Chinese nurse to bandage it, and she didn't. So, I go into all that detail in this email, Gwen Kennedy's dangerous accommodation, that I sent to Sylvia Heidenreich on September 26th, Tuesday, and then I ask her to watch the video and, do something, some action to save Mum. Of course she doesn't want to save Mum, does she? If everyone left the nursing home, she wouldn't have a job, would she? So then on Wednesday, September 27th, I write to her and Graham Smith to say I've removed my mother from the Holy Spirit nursing home. She's under my care at home, and if anyone puts her through any more trauma, there will be a lot of charges for the Holy Spirit Catholic Healthcare and my siblings to answer for. And now Sylvia Heidenreich. How can this be legal? Anyway, I go into the detail about what happened before I took her out. And, shortly after that, I get banned. I get banned the next day or something. I don't read those letters from Catholic Healthcare because they're just unbelievable. They speak to me like a child, like they kidnapped my mother. I don't want anything to do with them, we don't want to be on their land. Can we leave, please? No, I have to stay there so they can bully both of us and destroy our relationship. It's unbelievable. And, okay, so this is Thursday, October 5th. So now I'm so desperate to see my mother. I'll just agree to anything. I'm just on my knees, begging to come back, and they love it. And they totally exploited me being on my knees. And, of course, they scheduled the meeting for me to come and have my ban order lifted exactly, same day and conflicting time with my guardianship appeal directives. They did that deliberately. And when they rescheduled it to the 13th, Friday the 13th. They have such a satanic sense of humour, this Catholic healthcare. So anyway, so I come in, so, you know, I went in on the Friday the 13th, and they make me sign something saying that I won't slam any doors, but I've never slammed a door. But Mum has doors slammed around her all day by them. They reverse the truth and make you sign under duress. I would have signed anything. 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 And, you know, this is where Sylvia Heidenreich humiliated me in front of these. They're just like a coven of witches, as far as I'm concerned. They're witches. So they let me see Mum after making me sign this thing and then saying I only have an hour, but they, you know, it's like, oh yes, we'll give you time with your mother. It's really unbelievable. Like they're doing me some favour. This is just total torture technique, what they do. So I go and see Mum. Mum's sad and distant, looking out the window. She's shrunk, her hair is dirty, she doesn't recognise me. I hug her and slowly bring her back to life. I have to leave to go to dinner. Saturday, 14th, Mum has lost language, can't put sentences together. I talk to her constantly as I massage her. So even in that 2 weeks she'd lost language because of depriving my mother from me being with her. Sunday 15th, Mum looks distressed when I arrive, does not recognise me. I take Mum outside, leg massage, neck, shoulder massage, facial, hair brushing. Her teeth look dirty, her roots are grey, her skin is dehydrated, she's not drinking enough, her eyes are fearful. I talk to her, reminding her of who she is, reminding her that she's loved, she's going home, hope, hope. Monday, October 16th, I arrived 9:45 to find Mum wandering the corridor and in Sydney's room, holding his jumper. Sydney is Dad's doppelganger. Mum thinks she's holding Dad's jumper. Rada washed her hair first, wash in over a month. She looks like a grey sparrow, desolate. First thing she says, they got my money, they took my money. When they wash her, it brings up all her old traumas. Wednesday, 18th of October. See Mum speaking again. She says, how did they do that? What happened to Dad? This is torture. My mother knows what's happening. She's a golem. She can't speak. And she's being tortured. And nobody can save her. Everyone has their limitations. Everyone has their limitations and their lack of resources. Are the criminals and the black ops and the bloody elder killers, are they the only one with a budget? It's like this, wow, my mother paid taxes all this time for protection and she has no protection. It's unbelievable. Saturday, 21st of October, missing Dad. Mum cries without tears. I cry tears for her. She asks if Dad is dead. I say no, they just won't let us see him. She understands what I say. Mum says we can't love him, we've got to love him. Sunday 22nd, Mum says, you want to be yourself. So she understands they're trying to re-educate us into being something else and we just want to be ourselves. She gets it, right? You want to be happy. I want to be yours. I want to be you. And I say, I want to be you too. And she says, I want to be you. And I'll go with you because I want you too. Second of October. I can't read anymore. Anyway, you know the story. This leads into another panel for my YouTube videos exposing their abuse. What is